Doctor Who animation and Blu-ray set speculation. Hello and welcome to this week's video. Now, I was planning to do this video next week anyway, but today's official announcement and release of the trailer of the Galaxy 4 animation, which is being released in the UK in November, it'll probably be January here. I thought I'd push this up a little bit and do it this week instead. Lots of people have been doing videos like this talking about, what they think we're going to be getting, at least in the next year or two, in terms of the Blu-ray sets and in terms of the animations. So I thought I'd throw my own speculation into the pile, just for a guess, just for a bit of fun. Now, in terms of the Blu-ray sets, we haven't got the official announcement for Season 17 yet, but it's almost certainly coming. I mean, we got the Season 17 leak the same time as the Galaxy 4 one last week. We've now got official confirmation of Galaxy 4, so it seems pretty likely that Season 17 will be out in December. So what do I think we're going to be getting in terms of the Classic Season Blu-ray sets next year? Well, I don't think we're going to be getting a 60s season anytime soon, for reasons that I'll get into in a minute. My guess is we'll continue to get a mix of the 70s and 80s seasons, and judging from the pattern of the schedule so far, I have a few ideas as to what I think will be coming next year. Now, my personal guess is that after Season 17, the next release will probably be Season 20. Peter Davison's second season from 1983, of course. We've known that's been coming for a while, just like we knew Season 17's been coming for a while, because they've done extras for it a year or so back. It's been a while since Season 19. It looks pretty likely we'll be getting a Peter Davison season. Now, after that, I would imagine we'll be getting another 70s season, most likely a John Pertwee. Now, apparently, I've heard recently that they have scanned the whole of Season 9 for HDing, so that's got to be up there as a very strong possibility. Now, I'm not as set on this as Season 20. It could be a different one. It could be Season 11. I doubt we'll be getting Season 7 yet. So it's really between 9 and 11. My guess would be Season 9. And after that, I think we'll get Season 22 next year. That's my guess. I think we'll get two 80s seasons. And I doubt we'll get Season 25 as quickly. And I very much doubt that we'll get Season 21 if we get Season 20. So I think we'll get Season 22. I think we'll basically finish Colin's era, apart from Twin Dilemma, obviously. Now, that's certainly one I'm particularly excited to get. I mean, I'm particularly excited to get Season 17, obviously, because it's one of my favourite seasons. But Season 22 is certainly one of the ones that I definitely want to get. Not least because some of those releases, of course, were among the earliest of the DVD releases, like Two Doctors and Mark of the Rani. So it would certainly be cool to see them kind of HD'd. HD'd, is that a word? HD'd. That's what I think about the Blu-ray sets for next year anyway. I mean, it seems fairly pointless speculating beyond that. Obviously, we're going to get more Toms, etc., etc. But my guess for next year is Season 20, Season 22, and probably Season 9. Now, as for the animations are a little bit more interesting and a little bit harder to kind of speculate on, because there hasn't really been much in the way of a set pattern, like, going from this decade to this decade, or this Doctor to this Doctor. There's been a bit more of a pattern with the Blu-rays. There hasn't really been that with the animations. They're a bit more out of left field. I mean, who would have predicted Galaxy 4 before we got the first leak from the Daily Mirror? I wouldn't have predicted Galaxy 4. So, trying to speculate what we'll get next year, I don't know. Now, this year and last year, we've basically had 3, or more like 2 and a bit, animations. Last year, of course, we got The Faceless Ones and Fury from the Deep, which were full animations, and we got a rejigged version of Power of the Daleks. This year, we're getting Evil of the Daleks and Galaxy 4 in fairly quick succession. Seems fairly obvious why. I think, COVID probably put one of those off a bit later than it should have been. I imagine it probably should have been earlier in the year. And we also got the animated episode 3 of Web of Fear, which, by the way, I have not seen yet. I think it's out next week here in Australia, actually, and I will be getting that. So what could we get next year for 2 full animations and maybe some kind of hybrid? Well, we've started on the Hartnell, so Hartnell is now definitely in consideration for possibilities. So I don't know. It's interesting to kind of conflate the animations with the Blu-ray releases. Now, they've said that the animations have said that they're not consulting with the Blu-ray releases, so they're not kind of deliberately scheduling them in order to make the Blu-ray releases easier. According to the Blu-ray producers, the reason that we haven't had a 60s season yet is because there's so many of them, there's so many episodes in them. But I mean, at the same time, I can't help but feel that it would really be a very stupid idea to do a 60s Blu-ray release with a missing story, and then a year or so later they animate that, because I think people would feel rightly kind of ripped off by that. So it does make sense to wait. So just wait until we can have a full season. At the same time, the animators don't seem to be in any rush to complete a season. I mean, okay, Marco Polo is supposedly a bit difficult, but I mean, the Space Pirates could probably be done easily enough, and that would be season 6 up and ready to go. But who knows? But leaving aside any kind of conflation with the Blu-rays, what would my bet be for the animations next year? Now, one thing I have heard just this week, and again, this is very much a pinch of salt rumor. This isn't a it's appeared on a listing site rumor. This is somebody talking on YouTube rumor. So take it with a whole cartload of salt. I heard somebody the other day in the YouTube comments saying that Fraser Hines has told a YouTuber at a convention that they're doing a Highlanders animation. Now, again, take it with a pinch of salt, but if that's true, that's certainly very interesting. And it does make a certain amount of sense, because, they've got to do a historical sooner or later. There are historicals that need doing. If we're going to get the whole run done, they need to do the historicals. It makes sense to do the Highlanders. It's Troughton, it's a very popular Doctor. It's Jamie's first story, so it's very significant within the canon. And I have heard that it's one of the more likely, I heard it several years ago, and I mean, things have moved on since then. I have heard it's one of the more likely and easy historicals to do in terms of the animation, because, a lot of the characters, like the Redcoats, they're wearing the same uniform, they're wearing the same red uniform, they're wearing the same hats, so that makes the animation easier in that sense. Again, this is very, 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 very much rumor, not even informed rumor, just I heard this on YouTube rumor, but it would make sense for that. And again, it would be another season 4 story. Now, of course, we are almost certainly getting Abominable Snowmen, almost certainly in the first half of next year. We know that's coming. And the interesting thing about that is that once we've got that, season 5 only has one story left to do, and that's complete, and that's the Wheel in Space, of course. And Wheel in Space, I mean, it's a 6-parter. They've done 6-parters. It should be a relatively simple one. It's a Cyberman story, and it's Zoe's introduction. They're going to do the Wheel in Space probably sooner rather than later. So, I don't know, would we get 2 Troughtons next year? Especially so soon after we've started Hartnell? I don't know. My guess is we're going to get Abominable Snowmen. My guess is we will probably get another Hartnell next year. And I would probably say the Savages. The Savages seems like a logical choice. and I would not be surprised if they were not working on the Highlanders, though I doubt we'll get that for next year. Now, will we get another kind of patchwork one like Web or like Power, one that's got animation in it but is not a fully complete epic like the other ones? I don't know, because it's difficult to see how they could do that. The only ones that spring to mind, of course, are the Crusade and the Underwater Menace, which only have 2 episodes. They could decide not to go the fully animated route and just do the extant episodes. Now, I wouldn't mind that for the Crusade. I think that would probably work quite well, and just do them in black and white and have it suit the thing. But even though it's got the same number of episodes, I think I'd quite like to see a fully animated, full color Underwater Menace. That seems like a story that would really lend itself to a comic book style animation and could be a lot of fun. So I'm not sure I'd really want them to do that. But anyway, my bet for next year for the Blu-ray sets is season 20, season 9, and season 22. And my bets for the animations, we're pretty certain on Abominable Snowmen already. My bet is another Hartnell. The Savages would be my bet for the next Hartnell after Galaxy 4. And I can potentially believe that they might be working on the Highlanders for the first historical. Anyway, that's my rambling speculation, completely uninformed, completely just random nonsense. But I just wanted to do this video, and I wanted to do it this week, given that we've had the exciting official announcement about Galaxy 4 and a trailer. The trailer looks cool. I like how colourful it looks. I couldn't help but notice that you don't see any of the human characters' animation during the trailer, but we'll wait and see what that's like. But it certainly looks very visually appealing. And like I said in a recent video, I've been struggling a little bit with the Hartnell era lately. I'm kind of hoping that getting some Hartnell animations in full colour and that will kind of help me to get back into it again. Anyway, that's the video. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.